Okay, so I'm going to show you how to write hello world in Objective-C because you need to know how to say hello to the world in any programming language, and Objective-C is objectively the best one. So immediately we're going to need standard I/O to be able to print anything. We have to say hello world, and that would be input and output. So we want to output hello world, so we need an STD. So let's get an STD. STD IO.h. And we're going to need a main function. So we're going to do int main. And we may or may not need command line arguments. So let's do int argc char pointer argv and make that an array. And there's our main function. That's going to get called. It's definitely going to get called. So now what we need to do is say hello world. So why don't we just start with printf. It's a function. It doesn't print f, but it does print whatever string you put into it. So let's try hello world. Simple enough, right? How about we return a 0 too, because main returns an int. So printf hello world. So now let's compile it. So gcc main.m -o for output main. It's going to be called main. Because it's Objective-C, we want to link it with the Objective-C runtime. So we need to do -l for link and objc for Objective-C. And it doesn't matter if you put a space in between here or not, it'll still work. So there's the program. So now let's try it. /main. Hello world, and let me show you what I did here. There it is. Now you can see it. Okay, cool. So it's a little weird looking. You might want a new line at the end of this to print a new line. And then I have here, now it's on a new line. But as object-oriented as this is, it could be more object-oriented. That's the power of Objective-C. You can always make it more object-oriented. So what we can do is, let's try using two strings here. Maybe a format string would be cool. We can format it. So we can do %s and a new line, and then remove this one, so we don't have two new lines. And then compile it again. Hello world. There it is. Now we're protected against, like, if this were to be, if I just put the string hello world in there, but you want to print out some user input or something, they might be able to hack the program. They just might. So you got to use the format string. You got to put this first and then your string. So now let's try to make it a little bit more object-oriented. So how about we add the @ symbol and see what happens, and then compile it. Cannot find interface declaration for NX constant string. So NX constant string, that's like an object because it's object-oriented. So what I need to do is implement that. So let's implement it. And we can just call it NX constant string. Who cares? You can call it whatever you want. You can change it. But I'm going to call it that. Actually, I'm not. So I'm going to do interface, because what's an interface declaration? Let's just call it poop string. Poop string? Perfect. And it can be a root object. Well, you can make it one, but it won't compile. That's the problem. So it needs a root object. So we'll get to that in a second. So we put the brackets here. So basically what this is, it's kind of the same as a struct, but it's not a struct, it's an object. And what this needs to look like is there has to be a char pointer, as in pointer to char. And we're going to call this string. And that's our constant string. It doesn't say const. You can change it if you want. And that's the power of object-oriented programming. Because even though it's constant, you can just change it. It doesn't matter. And then we probably also want int length. That might be good to have. So, now we need a root object to make this, to make it compile. So we want objc/object.h. We want to import that instead of include it. So include is for C, import is for Objective-C. Import does basically the same thing as include, except import like automatically does like a header guard and include doesn't. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it that way. So then we want to put object as our root object. So poop string inherits from object. And then also we need to make an implementation of it. So implementation poop string. Okay. So what we want to do is we need to be able to get the string from the object, or like, well, do we really need to do that? Let's see. String. Let's just try it. NX constant string. Oh yes, that's right. We need to tell it what our string is called. So we do -f constant string. No. Constant dash string dash class equals poop string. Okay, cool. Alright. Instance variable string is protected. This will be a hard error in the future, but it's only a warning. It's not an error, which means we can ignore it. So now let's run it. And there we have it. It's object-oriented. That's awesome. But we can do even better. We can try to, let's try to send it a message. I don't think we can actually do that yet. We could do hello world string and get the string, maybe. Expects char pointer, but argument is type ID. And we can do the same thing, maybe. I don't know if you can do the arrow on that, but let's try it. Because it's ID and not, that's right, okay. So no, you can't do that. Fun fact, you cannot do that, but what we can do is make a method. Or actually, let's make an accessor. Make it a property. So do property char pointer string, and then property int length. That's how you spell length. And then down here we want to do synthesize. Synthesize string. I'm not sure if you need the pointer on that or not. And then synthesize length. So what these do is normally you have to like declare like a getter and a setter yourself. You have to make a method for it, but this just kind of automates the process. So this declares it and this defines it. Okay, so oh yeah. Now let's put this back. Let's see. It compiled, didn't give me any warnings. That's a good sign. Hello world, there it is. So we send it the string message. It gets the string message and it returns the string because of whatever this synthesized. But what we can also do is we can set the string. So I'm not sure what that returns. I think it's just void. It just returns void. But we can make another one. We'll try it. So we do at constant string set string, and we'll set it to something else. Constant string set string poop. And let's see. It has to be a C string, that's why. Let's put the C string in the constant string. And there it is. But then, let's see. Does it actually make two strings if I do this? Let's just try it. Does it know to put these as the same string if they are the same? And maybe printf it. Printf. That's just going to return the string. We can try it. No format arguments. Okay. Oh, string literal. Okay. There. We'll try that. Poop. Oh, perfect. Oh, wow. It actually does change it. So, yep, there's your proof that constant strings can, in fact, change. What we should do now is add a method to our Hello World program here. Add some methods. So instead of writing out printf and the whole function every time we want to use it, why don't we just write it once as a method and then call it whenever we need it? So how about we do dash void printf. Or we declare it, now we define it down here in the implementation. I think you can also make it static. I don't know. We'll try it. Okay. So now instead of writing this out, what we can do is we have just a basic format here, and then instead of this, we just do string. Maybe even self.string, but maybe we don't need that. We don't need that. And then instead of doing this, it prints hello world on its own. And maybe we can even do it to this one too. So we'll do at constant string printf. Cool. Cool. And then now without changing it, just to show you, constant string, awesome. Now what if we want to change the format too? Well, why don't we do printf with format, and then we give it a format. So what should the format be? I think it should just be poop string pointer, maybe. We'll try that. I think that's what it would be. And we just take this, put it down here. It needs a name, so we'll call it format. Okay, so now, just like the other one, we can do printf, but instead of writing the format string ourselves, we put format in here. And because it's a poop string, we can do format string. I think we'll try it. We'll see. And then what we can do here is put string. I think that'll work. It might actually work. We'll try it. So hello world printf with format. And then we write our format string. So we'll do %s. Give it a new line. Formatted. It compiled. That's always a good sign. Formatted. Hello world. Awesome. Awesome. It just works. It just works. It's Objective-C. It just works. There's a lot more you could do with this, but I don't know. I would have to show every possible thing. I think it's probably better if I just let you get creative with it, as I've done here, to figure out what kinds of things can you do with constant strings. You can do a lot. So that's it for this video. See you guys later.